Welcome back to Bible Student Languages. Today we're going to take a look at some intermediate Hebrew in Hosea 11:1 and compare it to the intermediate Greek of Matthew 2:15. What we'll be taking a look at today is our biblical touch point of the Exodus. So Hosea 11:1 is going to look back on how Israel was delivered out of Egypt, and then Matthew 2:15 is going to look at this exact verse, quote it, and say, "Out of Egypt I've called my son," which is this, but Matthew's going to say that this speaks of Jesus. So with that, let's take a look at our intermediate Hebrew, which says in Hosea 11:1, Ki, for or when, Na'ar, a child, Yisrael, Israel. So when was a child, Israel, Va, then, Ahev, I loved, Ehu, him. So Ki, Na'ar, when was a child, Israel, when Israel was a child, Va'ahavahu, I loved him. U, and me, out of Mitzrayim, Israel, or excuse me, Egypt, Mitzrayim, Egypt. Karati, I called, le, to, ban, the son, my son, labni, to my son. And so this second phrase right here, Mitzrayim, karabain, are roots, mi Mitzrayim, karati, labani. Out of Egypt, I called my son. Now we're going to take a look at Matthew 2:15 in the intermediate Greek and see how Matthew takes this verse. It says, K and ain was a K there, heos until, tes, the, telutes, the death, Herodu, of Herod. And so Matthew is retelling the story of how Joseph took his family down into Egypt and then eventually was called back to go into Israel. And so Matthew's going to look at that event and say that this is similar or a fulfillment of what Hosea spoke about, how Israel was taken up out of Egypt. Now Jesus, the better Israel, the Israel that Israel should have been, is now likewise being taken up out of Egypt. So let's take a look. After the death of Herod, Hina, that Plerothe, it might be fulfilled, to which Rethen was spoken, Hippo, by, to Kyriou, by the Lord, Dia, through, to propheto, by the prophet, Legontos, saying, ex, from, Egyptu, from Egypt, and this is where we get our English word Egypt from, Egyptu, Ekalise, I have called, Ton Huion, the son, Mu, my son. Out of Egypt I have called my son. And so here we have Umimitraim Kariti Labani. Out of Egypt I called my son. And here we have Ex Egyptu Ekalasa Ton Huion Mu. Out of Egypt I call the son mine. Very interesting biblical touch point on the Exodus. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time. Here are some more videos YouTube thinks you'll enjoy, and hey, if you made it all the way to the end, consider subscribing, leaving a like, or letting me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Can't wait to see you next time.